Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another video. Welcome to Norway. This time I'm going to hike for several days in Jotunheimen National Park. That's in the central part of Norway. So far I'm in Oslo. I'm staying in my tent. You can see that yellow tent in this beautiful campground and with this beautiful Oslo city view. Just here in Oslo I need to do a couple of things. I need to buy some camping gas and some freeze-dried meals in the nearest outdoor store. And tomorrow I'm going to start my route. Ooh, that's a super wide selection of freeze-dried meals. Real tourmats, these are my favorite. Oh hey, morning, here I am at Oslo bus terminal and I'm about to hop on a bus that will bring me to Jotunheimen National Park, and the journey time is about 4.5 hours. Alright guys, so this is the very first steps on this multi-day trekking in Norway. Thank you driver for a wonderful trip from Oslo to Gjendesheim. And as you can see, the weather is just fantastic, but this is not for long, because as the weather forecast says, it will get much worse tomorrow, and especially day after tomorrow. But all we can do is we can only accept that. Well, it's about 3:10 p.m. now, and I have only several days of hiking for today. So for today my goal is to reach so-called Beseggen. Maybe I mispronounced that. That's where this magnificent view is located, and after that I'm going to drop some elevation to set up my camp. What is interesting here is immediately after you get off a bus, there's quite a brutal climb to Beseggen. You need to gain about 700 meters, I suppose, and probably that's the most strenuous climb throughout the whole trekking. Yeah, from what I know, the entire route is marked with these T marks. Maybe there is a bunch of different options for the routes here. Maybe not all of them are marked with these T marks. Maybe at this section some elements of scrambling are involved. Not a big fan of that, but that's fine.
Ja, det glatt på berget der.
Well, about a year ago I did the Tour du Mont Blanc, and after that I realized that I need to optimize the weight of my backpack. I did some adjustments, so now it weighs about 20 kilograms at the very beginning, and I'm quite happy with that. Yeah, I forgot to mention today is September 1st, and Jotunheimen National Park is located at quite high latitude, and the sunset time, for example, for today is at about 8:30 p.m. But because it's a relatively high latitude, the twilight lasts for quite a long time, like for say 50 minutes. Just what that means is, for example, half an hour after the sunset, it's still not very dark. You still can do your last meters for the day, but it's not an advice, of course. Ideally, in a situation like this, when the sunset time is 8:30 p.m., I would pitch up my tent at around 7:30.
Hey, what's up?
Say goodnight, stay together, wouldn't it be nice? Oh. Yeah, that's the view that I have mentioned earlier. Because it's the very early September, many snow patches have melted already. And for example, in June I would have had way more snowfields on the route. Well, I guess I'm going to have a short break here. I'll have a slice of cheese and a slice of crispy bread. I don't know what they call it. I hope I'll enjoy my rest here. So I'll be camping tonight, maybe near that lake or a bit further, I'll decide. This descent is quite uncomfortable. You see, it's very steep. Quite a relief. I think I can see my camping spot. They say you can even drink from lakes, but I doubt it. I will boil this water. You definitely can drink from streams if there is no pastures upstream. And that's my campsite. Nice spot near the lake with some beautiful views on the opposite side. There's a light wind. Alright, dinner time, the most favorite part of the day. Just I forgot to mention, the elevation here is about 1350 meters. So Oslo is obviously at the sea level, and that tiny little town, Gjendesheim, where I started, its elevation is about 1000 meters. I really like the taste of the tomato sauce in this pasta bolognese. Фоточку можно сделать. Good morning, this is the day number 2 and now I continue. By the way, you see this fairly long lake. At the very end of it there is a village, Gjendebu, and at the very end of my trekking I will take a boat or a ferry at that tiny little village, and that ferry will bring me all the way back to Gjendesheim, which is somewhere over there. Hi. You might be wondering why there are so many people on the trail. Well, that's because this particular section and yesterday's section, these sections are in between Memurubu and Gjendesheim, where I arrived yesterday, and these two villages provide perfect opportunities for some day hikes with that Besegan view that we had yesterday. Hello! That's the lake I will eventually head to. Well, I'm going to Glitterheim. Well, I'm off the beaten path now. That was scary. It's 2 p.m, not a single raindrop yet. The weather forecast says it should start at around 3-4 p.m. The forecast is not a very reliable thing, of course, in the mountains, but maybe that's for the best. Generally, I'm still hiking along this lake. I just pitched up my tent with this beautiful view, and the weather is still okayish, and I'm quite happy with it. about to have my dinner inside my tent, and the rain almost completely stopped. It was raining for more than 2 hours, quite heavily. So far I'm quite confident to advance further to Glitterheim and further. We'll see. My tent is quite wet, especially its outer layer. My sleeping bag has a little bit of moisture, but this is absolutely not something to take care of. Probably that's the mountain pass I'm heading towards. That's the mountain pass. That lake over there. I was hiking along that lake yesterday. The weather conditions on this side of the mountain pass are more or less the same as on the opposite side, where I was going uphill, so quite happy with that. And yet another mountain pass for the day. There was a series of lakes, like 3 or 4 lakes, and you hike along them on small or big boulders, on some kind of large scree or generally stones. Well, my speed, I kind of slowed down a bit on this section because of these stones and boulders. That was quite a long section with the same elevation, with the elevation of the mountain pass. And now I guess I'm descending very gradually, very slowly. a little bit windy now, and I'm quite happy that I've pitched up my tent safely. Now I'm safe. Well, that was quite a long day. I hiked today a bit more than 20 kilometers. And yeah, overall for today the weather wasn't that bad. I expected something really frightening and something even worse. That's where my tent was staying. You see these puddles. Oh hey, morning. It was pouring the significant part of the night. Quite heavy rain. Yeah, I'm a bit soaked and some of my stuff is wet, like my sleeping bag is a little wet. Alright, I'm heading to Spiterstulen. Here at Spiterstulen there is a trailhead to Mount Gjendesheim, which is the highest mountain of all Scandinavian countries, not only of Norway, of all the Scandinavia. And from here actually it's around 1400 meters elevation gain. Quite a challenging hike. The elevation of Gjendesheim top is about 2450 meters, and in these conditions it's not an easy endeavor to get to the top. By the way, I've done this Gjendesheim hike back in 2018. There are no technical elements on the route, it's just hiking, but still quite challenging. And yeah, these places are quite familiar to me. Some good memories here. So I just crossed a couple of rivers here, and they seem to be more high flow, maybe because of that heavy rain during the night and the previous day. And with one of them I threw my backpack first to the opposite side of the river, and then I just jumped over myself. It was a little bit an adventure. So at this point my way is branching to Leirvassbu. It's this way. That way is to Gjendebu. Eventually I will arrive to Gjendebu, but this way is shorter. You know what? I just crossed this river barefoot. Haven't found a way to cross it in my boots, so I decided, okay, I don't want my boots to be soaked, I'll just cross it barefoot. But you know what? I should have crossed it with my Crocs. Right. Completely forgot about this opportunity. Stupid me. But On the other hand, I got a nice massage of my feet. Just, I mean, in Crocs it would have been a bit more comfortable to cross this river. Looks like today's the river day. Okay, I guess I found a nice camping spot. This area, yeah, I'm gonna pitch up my tent here. The water stream is over there. It's a beautiful location with lakes around me. The soil is not swampy. And Leirvassbu village is over there, but it's more than 1 kilometer. There is a limit. You cannot pitch up your tent within 1 kilometer from any little village. Here, that's what I have seen in Spiterstulen and in Glitterheim. These precaution. Hey, good morning. Although it should get sunnier today, for now it's still raining like yesterday, or yeah, more or less, or like day before yesterday. Okay, it's day number 5 and I'm starting my hike for today. The weather improved slightly and I guess in 10-15 minutes I will be approaching Leirvassbu village. It's over there. Okay, so it's nice and sunny and I want to dry out my tent after the rainfall. Completely run out of chocolate candy bars, but I have 2 hearty meals from Real Tourmont and also have a soup, so I'm gonna enjoy a soup instead of candy bars. Yeah, the most difficult days were day 3 and day 4, and today's day number 5, and it's much easier, not only because of the weather conditions but also because of the distance. And today there is almost no elevation gain, only very gradual and very gentle elevation loss, just a little bit of it. And I can arrive to Gjendebu today, but I don't want to. I just want to spend a bit more time in the mountains. Yeah, so I'll have one last night, and tomorrow I'll have just half a day of hiking to Gjendebu because my ferry departing at 4:25 p.m. tomorrow, the ferry that will bring me from Gjendebu to Gjendesheim, to my starting point where the bus will take me back to Oslo. Yeah, so it's a wonderful weather, and I'm really gonna enjoy my last evening and tomorrow my last morning and early afternoon here in Jotunheimen National Park, Norway. Quite likely I will camp tonight by this lake. Is it an ideal camping spot or what? Well, I'm going to enjoy my last dinner on this multi-day hike, and it's only the second evening on this journey with these nice and calm conditions with clear skies. Actually, it was a bit windy here, but then the wind settled down. Because you know, on evenings 2, 3 and 4 I wasn't calm myself because I didn't know should I expect some rain or maybe it was raining already, but now it's just such a lovely evening, calm and tranquil. Beautiful. Alright, time to say goodbye to this wonderful camping spot. Okay, on my way to Gjendebu. It's just about 7 kilometers and mostly descent. Alright, here I am waiting for my ferry that will bring me to Gjendesheim. I still have about 2 hours here in this paradise. And I guess it's time for final thoughts. In terms of difficulty, this route for me personally was somewhere in the middle, maybe a bit on the easier side. Yeah, well, because there's not much of elevation gain and losses. The distances are quite significant, yeah, but for example, if we will compare with the Tour du Mont Blanc, it was much lengthier. It was 12 days against 6 days here, and the elevation gains and losses on the Tour du Mont Blanc are much more significant, right? Yeah, that's actually what I expected, and that's what I wanted. Not very hard route, not a very easy one, somewhere in the middle. Yeah, as I said, you do not ascend and you do not descend too many meters in a day. And also what I have noticed is that the trail is wet quite often, and you might say swampy. And also there are sections with middle and large rocks or boulders, and crossing those sections will slow you down a bit, but there's really no big deal. Also, you'll be crossing many streams and a bunch of rivers, either by yourself or with the bridges mounted. Yeah, and what I have noticed is that the trail, at least my particular trail, is marked incredibly well with T marks and cairns. Literally every 20 meters you can see either a T mark or a cairn, and on those sections where you need to cross over boulders or stones, those marks are even more frequent. And you know what I really liked? I had a variety of weather conditions. Of course, rain can create some challenge and it might be annoying, but I had some sunny weather, some rain for sure, some cloudy skies, and even some fog. Alright guys, that's it for me, and until next time, bye.